The views and opinions expressed on this show do not reflect that of the staff and management of WNOV and W293 CX 106.5 FM Courier Communications Milwaukee, but are the sole comments of the host and guest of this particular show.
The views and opinions expressed in this program do not reflect those of Wisconsin Voices. The views and opinions expressed by host and guests are their own, and their appearance on the show does not imply any endorsement or representation by Wisconsin Voices. Thank you for listening to Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Be a voice.
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 Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org
and learn more on how to be a voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Show yourselves. We want to see our people, but we also want to make sure that we are tapping in with the organizations and individuals in the community that are getting things done. That is one thing that we are striving to continuously work on. And that is a consistent goal of mine, is to always tap in and make sure that we are not just, missing or, or skimming over anybody that's really making an impact, or if we just need to reconnect with anybody in the community, we would love to do that as well.
And I want to shout out one of our partner organizations that's going to be doing some major work on the having a wonderful event highlighting young fathers in our community. Fathers Making Progress, Teron Edwards. On June 14th, he's going to have a Fatherhood Friday, where the Friday before Father's Day, they're going to be acknowledging 6 young men in the community, and one of their awards is going to be to co-parenting. So it's going to be to the father and mother that really works together to make sure that their kids are raised right. So I wanted to highlight that. So anybody interested in going, please get in touch with Fathers Making Progress at Teron at fathersmakingprogress.org. What's up, Brian?
Oh, no, I was waiting on you. I just going to shout out another organization. Mm-hmm. They be busy, but, I just always got to shout them out. They got a event coming up as well. Denim and Diamond, Daddy, Daughter, and Mother, Son Dance. I think that's nice. Daddy, Daughter, and Mother, Son Dance. So it'll be Saturday, June 8th from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Grand Hall, 9400 West Congress Street. That will be through Purpose Driven Sisters, Ryan McNair, and her organization. Again, that is a Denim and Diamond, Daddy, Daughter, and Mother, Son Dance. Saturday, June 8th, 4 to 8 p.m. at the Grand Hall. If y'all have any information, or if y'all have any questions about any of the organizations or what events they got going on, you can reach out to us at WisconsinVoices.org. You can contact myself, Brian, at WisconsinVoices.org, or Latoya at WisconsinVoices.org as well, just to reach out on that. So yeah, we got a beautiful day in the city. A beautiful day brings interesting, would you say, confrontations and interactions with the people across the city, no matter where you at. I was on the highway yesterday, man, and the people it was a lot going on 94 East coming back from that Brewers game. I don't know if it was Brewers traffic and Sunday Fun Day traffic, but it was a lot of incidents when it comes to, we've been talking about this traffic and, how Milwaukee has been on some lists that we shouldn't have been on lately, like the worst traffic, worst drivers, some of the higher accident lists in the city. But also,
we still one of the worst place to raise a black family.
Yeah.
Which that's like, 5 years in the ticket now? That's kind of sad.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, I know we was talking big about reckless driving, and, I'm really concerned with some of the driving we have, because we're not just seeing it from the youth lately. We're seeing it from some of the, middle-aged adults and some of the adults that are just tapping into their 30s and stuff. But another issue we've been having lately is the no plates, and just wanted to credit WISN on their story about the plate issue we've had in Milwaukee. This was interesting. Milwaukee police wrote 194 tickets to no plates in 2023, which is quite concerning with the amount of plates you can see or amount of cars you can see throughout the city without any plates. What concerns me the most about people without any type of license plate, I'm concerned with the lack of insurance on these vehicles as well. And how are you going to cover yourself if you hit somebody? And what are you going to do in a situation where you have an individual that hits you? And either way, y'all both not covered. This has been something that, we've seen as an issue. I mean, even when it came into law, like in 2008, 2009, you were required to have insurance. We still see a lot of people, and, some of it is because of economic issues, not being able to afford their insurance. But, we have to figure out a program or some type of system in our city to help individuals here who may be struggling to get insurance. There has to be insurance plans or some type of insurance plan created for impoverished people or people struggling with, paying bills, which, makes them want to be responsible when it comes to that. But I was just looking at that. So we were talking about just the within the reckless driving, it said that, and it shows that in 2023, police ticketed more than 194 drivers for no place or improperly displaying one. But police ticketed 2,331 people with expired tags or improper registration. So people with tags on their car, it was 2,331 of those. But people with no tags, period, it was 194 of those. And I think I'll see, as many expired tags. I'll probably see as many individuals with, no tags on theirs at all.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? I mean, what do you see when you riding through the city? How's it looking from your point of view? Because everybody sees it different,
I do. I see a lot of people riding with no tags. And I actually had a young lady hit me that had no license. And I had to get my car fixed myself.
Did she have insurance?
No. If she didn't have a license, she definitely don't have insurance. And
I'm sorry not to laugh. And that's that night I seen you, right? Which I didn't know it was you.
Mm-hmm.
I works in weird ways. Like something told me to go straight, but then I was like, ooh, it's an accident. Let me go on left because I don't want to get tied up in a mess. If I would have slowed down and went straight north that night, I would have talked to you. I probably would have standing out there with you that night. But, that was crazy. I mean,
and she didn't get a ticket from the police or anything, Brian. Nothing. She didn't get anything. All they told me is that I got to call the DMV and get the accident report and file from there. They didn't even want to give me her information. And, that's to us that have insurance and license and actually went to driver's school and know how to drive.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of appalling because the officer literally got an attitude with me because I'm going northbound on Tatonia. She pulled out of the BP gas station on Tatonia and Viller coming out westbound and just pulled right out into traffic and hit my car. And I wasn't supposed to be frustrated. I was supposed to just be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, dear, let's go out to lunch and see how we gonna work this out or something. But the officer got a little attitude with me like, she doesn't want to give her information to you because you scared her. You want to get violent about a car accident. I didn't try to get violent. I didn't say I was going to punch you. If I was going to punch you, I would have punched you right there. My views are not the views of Wisconsin Voices, the WNOV. I'm not a violent person. So I was fussing though, because when I did get out the car, she hit me, by the way. I jumped right out the car and go to check on her because she totaled her car in the front. And as soon as I walk up to her window, she rolled her window down and she got her phone to her ear. And that's the first thing she said to me. I wasn't on the phone. I just answered it after you hit me. After I hit you, you hit me. What are you talking about? Get that straight first. I ain't hit you. You hit me. And I said, I made her reply that I think kind of spooked her. I said, oh, y'all people don't know how to chew and drive at the same time.
Yeah.
So
that's a major thing. And that's another conversation in itself right there. This is distractions. I haven't looked at statistics, but I will. But, it's a lot of people who probably, just say it on a lighter tip, but a lot of individuals who have, they smack dab in their phone. I was on the highway when y'all had me go up to Madison to go check on the team. I was on the phone. I was on the highway just looking as I was passing this one lady. I'm wondering why she was kind of driving weird. And it's always the same thing. It's a cell phone. And then it's blasted in their face. It's so close. It's like, if anybody ride past as law enforcement, they see you with this phone directly in your face, you on the highway doing 65, 70 miles an hour, you're going to get pulled over out the gate. It doesn't matter.
And do people realize that there's an app on the text on the phone that you can just talk in it? Like it's a mic on there. Not the mic. Let me get this straight for these people. Let me get this straight. Not the mic when you first look on there, you will see the little wave of like your voice. That's a voice recording message you can send. But it's a mic right up there, right above the P. It's a mic. You can click that and talk through it, and it'll text any and everything you want. I'm like, it don't take all that. And if you're on the freeway or the highway, I don't think there's nothing more important than your lives and the lives of the people that you are riding on that road with than to not talk to a person right then if you can. If you can't be hands-free and keep your eye on the prize, which is the road, and your hands on your steering wheel, then I don't think you should have that conversation. Is that conversation that important?
Yeah, even just backing at what you're saying, some people just have struggled with keeping focus on two things at once. We see that. Looking at in 2021, 8% of accidents caused by distracted driving were due to cell phone use, and 62% were caused by drivers losing mental focus. Mm-hmm. You hear that? Folks was out here losing focus. I don't know what happened. I just started thinking about something else and then just got an accident. What was you doing? And then you see a lot of it too, because it makes sense. Because think about it. We see a lot of videos. You see these videos where folks is that you be sitting at home and somebody did something crazy in traffic. That's still losing mental focus in a way. If you snap, ain't that still considered losing mental focus? Yeah, because you done went somewhere else. Still be like, right now, I leave up out of here. Somebody pissed me off and I ram into their car. That's still an accident.
Crashed out, literally.
Right. Yeah, look, there you go. Right.
There you go. For real.
There you go, right there.
It's like, it don't make sense.
Others, they got 2% were caused by eating or drinking, lighting or putting out a cigarette, and 1% was holding off on a bathroom break. So I don't understand that one, but yeah, they said most distracted accidents happen between 6 and 11 p.m. and drivers spend about 1 minute and 38 seconds on their phones per hour of driving. So yeah, so it's actually a concern.
It really is.
Distracted driving is responsible for 20% of all car accidents involving injuries, which amounts to more than 420,000 personal injuries per year.
Wow,
man.
Yeah.
So that's
a lot.
500,000 of people almost getting injured by distracted driving. And we've seen it. We've all seen a distracted driver. I've been a distracted driver, and I've been a person who's been in a car with the distracted drivers or got hit by the distracted driver, whatever the case may be. It happens so quick. It don't matter what you was distracted by. You looking at the cell phone light. For me, one time I was distracted by changing my radio and it was raining and I was going through an intersection. I shouldn't have been doing that. That was the accident that I caused. I was distracted driving. So I'm in that statistic as well. Well, that was 10, 12 years ago, or 13, 14 years ago now. But yeah, that was what happened with me, was not paying attention, trying to turn my radio up, pull off, thinking I'm looking smooth. And, it's raining outside and, obviously brakes don't work as well in the rain.
Right. I didn't have those distracted mental breaks where I'm mad about something and I kind of like take it out on the road where I'm flying, dipping and been and almost smack somebody on the side or hit a pedestrian coming out. It's not funny.
Yeah.
Real life. It's not.
Yeah.
And almost hit a pedestrian. And so I learned how to bring my temper down.
You got to watch out for the distracted walkers too. Cause people just be in the mix walking off into the street. I had a guy play chicken with us in Frogger the other day in the street crossing close to right off Capitol. Right before the intersection of Fond du Lac and Capitol, this guy just took a chance and came out and he looked me dead in the eye before he walked out in the street. And it was like one of them split seconds he was able to get past the little groups of traffic that was coming through. But the average person, when I took that chance, you would have easily got clipped. I mean, even if you didn't get fully hit, you know, your leg, hip, or something, but this guy, he moved pretty quick. Shout out to that older guy, that older gentleman on Capitol that ran across the street so smooth the other day, playing with his life like that. But, you know, it's important to be mindful and focused when we drive. And, you know, a lot of people are impaired. You see, we got a lot of impairment drivers in Wisconsin. It's high for, you know, drunken cities.
Catch Wisconsin Voices via Voice Radio every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. as we focus on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices via Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org. Wisconsin Voices 3 pillars: protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, building community.
We hear about accidents a lot every day. It's a major accident on one of our major streets. And we also want to talk about some important information that I'm sure everybody is interested in, especially with this being graduation season. And we just had an election and actually approved more funding for our Milwaukee public school system, to know that they haven't had a budget put together in over 8 months. And they're holding a special board meeting tonight. And they're going to have 4 topics. They're going to update our communications from the Department of Public Instruction related to district funding, reporting on the sections of and outside financial consulting. So they're going to see if they need to get an outside financial consultant. And then they're also going to have a public hearing on communications from the Department of Public Instruction related to district funding. They may close some of those sessions, and they were speaking on the reports last night on if they're going to have disciplinary action for our board president.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this, Brian?
It really seems, it's really unfortunate and unfair to the citizens of Milwaukee who kids are, are going to these schools and having to deal with this disruption in education services to, our kindergarten all the way through our high school kids. So what it's all about is pretty much saying is that no budgets, things weren't handled when it comes to turning in any documents or required financial data to the state. And now we trying to figure out, what are we going to do? Or is it looking like there's no money, or will not be any money given to the MPS if this, and now is it to the point where now it's too late? Why aren't these things being turned in? Was it somebody not handling these documents appropriately? Are you so far behind that you can't catch up to, turn these in appropriate, even though it's there right now? I think they're saying some reports are 8 months past due. Yeah. And the latest is a month old right now. Yeah. I don't want to see budget cuts to any schools. I didn't go to MPS, but everybody in my family did for the most part. And I don't want to see no school districts in a city that I love and students not being able to get the proper education. I've seen that some of my friends leave the school we went to and seen how their interest in things changed when they went to MPS from the school to another school that they went to. I believe that, the more you pump in and the more whatever it is, the experiences, and that's going to cost money, the books, that's going to cost money. We need to figure out a way to get these, these reports and handled by the proper, if it's an outsourced contracted service, whoever, somebody needs to come in and get these done so the proper money can get to where it is. That's like even within organizations we work into, or even where I worked in the past. If you don't have the proper documentation, I could be even with, in the services like what L do. He do music. If certain documentation ain't in, or if he don't have if they don't have the contract in on whichever side, ain't nobody getting paid. That's out the gate. That's in that service, in entertainment service. Look what we do. Organizing. This is pretty 1 + 1 = 2 type of stuff.
So
in my
you
mind.
gotta know where you're allocating funds to.
Yes. Exactly. That's what's gonna happen. Look at what happened with us. We gotta have stuff in so they know, okay, so the
budget.
Approved, right.
Right.
So your department, our department can get what it need, whoever else tells department, Tamika's departments that she's over, whoever. And just even in the past, I worked for the food share programs and work helping people get jobs. You have to show documentation on what you're doing.
Right.
I've seen it with an organization I was working with. Documentation wasn't being handled, and one of the funders, they pulled out, and it's a pretty big funder. They pulled out, which resulted in that organization pretty much imploding. When your biggest funder doesn't support you because the proper documentation and what was shown on there didn't make sense. It didn't add up. So things not adding up.
That's the biggest part about it, is because they're like 8 months behind. So how are funds being allocated? And then you're coming back to us as the residents, constituents of the community, and asking us for more money, and you don't even have a budget together to know what money you need. So that's a little bit questionable right there. Like you asked for this extra money, and no more than a month later it blows up in your face that you don't even have a budget.
Right.
You haven't had one you don't even know where you're allocating funds to in the last 8 months. So that's very questionable right there. Who should be held accountable for that?
Now they're saying how the delays cost EPS, as we know, millions of dollars, and impact how funds can allocate other school districts across Wisconsin. So this could even affect other school districts across the state, which is crazy how one little domino out the road can just disrupt the whole flow of things for the state. So there's so what it's saying, I got a quote from an individual, the accounting chair at Marquette. There's only a certain amount of money to go around. Quote, there's only a certain amount of money to go around. So there's a formula that dictates how it's calculated. Kevin Rich of Marquette University's accounting department. If the state isn't getting that number, it's having consequences for everybody, end quote. That's pretty deep,
Right.
And how does that look on our city? I don't even like the negative look that certain groups give in other parts of the state, give about Milwaukee either way. When it's looking like that, our misappropriation of data, funds, whatever, is throwing off other states. Other counties in the state. That could be an issue.
We got a caller?
We got a caller.
Hello, caller.
Hey, how y'all doing this morning?
Hey,
all right, and yourself?
I can't complain. I just got one question. Posey, does he have a financial background? Why come if he was a principal, if he ran the school before, how do you not know he had to have his records in order? That's scary for you to have a superintendent that's not on an A1, because the first thing that needs to happen is your funding.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very good question.
Yeah. Everybody gets mad at me because I said it's time for a change. Because if he doesn't have the common sense to know that he has to have his budget in and be 8 months behind, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's why we don't know where the money is at. That's why these kids are failing. They're running around here looking like they grown, acting like they grown, feeling they're entitled to something, and they ain't not even educated. But he's still collecting his almost $200,000 a year salary. Come on, wake up. I mean, black, white, it don't make no difference who he is. If you're not doing the proper job, you should be somewhere else. Maybe he should be switched down to janitor to let him see how that feels.
I agree.
Thanks for calling.
And thanks for calling. And I'm glad this brother man said it. Don't matter what color you are. You should be responsible. If you were a teacher, you are a superintendent, that means you have been an educator all these years. You should know that you need a budget in. And then to actually go and make a referendum to get more money for your school budget, and you haven't even written out a budget. You don't even know where your funds are being allocated to. So we got to do better on that. And like he said, our viewers' views are not the views of Wisconsin Voices or WNOV, but that was a good point that man highlighted, that maybe you should be stripped of your position, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So
we got that topic. If anybody has any questions or comments about what's going on, and and today, Toya, when is that meeting? Matter of fact,
that meeting is tonight.
If you got any kids
in between 3
nephews,
I'm sorry, that meeting is it's the special Milwaukee school board meeting.
That's June 3rd at 5:30.
That's June 3rd at 5:30 p.m. and it's gonna be at our school board.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right on Valide.
On 52nd and Valide.
52nd
yeah.
and Valide. Okay.
So if you want to go out and have your voice heard, they have 4 dockets on that session that they will be hosting tonight. They'll be talking about, but they are not sure if they're going to do a closed session on that proposed actions concerning the administrative assignment statutes of the superintendent. So they don't know if they're going to do a closed session, but they do have a closed session notice in. So what that means is that they can close the session and discuss it out of the frame of the public, but then come back and discuss in a public forum on what they discussed in that closed session. Yes. So anybody that wants to see what's going on with our school system, and it will have a domino effect on other school systems, please stop by the school board tonight at 5:30.
All right, cool. Thank you for that. We appreciate that. Outside of that, what else we got going on this week? It's getting closer to Juneteenth, and we got some Juneteenth celebrations. We need to be, getting in the most mode for that as well. We
start Pride month this month. Actually, at Zeibler Park, they just put up the Pride flag.
Okay, so they got a big Pride event going on, right? Oh yeah, that's right. They got the festival will be starting soon as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, outside of Pride Fest, it is also Black Music Month. So make sure that you're putting on your best Black songs, whatever songs make you feel good, no matter if it started all the way back from your high school sweetheart in 1955 all the way up to your high school sweetheart in 2025 next year. Look, Black Music Month is a month that was established by Jimmy Carter, I believe about 45 years ago. So if you don't know about Black Music Month, it's a great month. We got a lot of great events started up by Black people this month going on. Whether it's I just found out recently that a black individual started off I believe a Black male started off Pride as well. So I was looking at something last night, a friend that posted. So you don't really know all the things that Black people have contributed to in this country as well. So
yeah, that's what Tim was paying homage to, our co-ED. That's what he was paying homage to last week when he said we need to start informing people on the Black inventors and how many inventions have been invented by Black people. So
but then back in February, I know we what I was trying to do every day we was hopping on that little Black inventors segment, just highlighting, like you say, even like the air conditioner, we got one flowing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that we have created, and first refrigerator systems and things like that. But yeah, we got the Juneteenth celebrations coming up. So what are some of the plans or some of the things that you've seen for some of our organizations when it comes to Juneteenth? Latoya, have you heard about any of the big events?
Oh, we have a couple of things like we had on the week before last. We're going to have the big parade. This will be the 3rd annual year that Racine will have their parade. And Washington County will be having their parade. So we're having ours on the 19th. Racine will be having theirs on the 17th, I believe it is. And Washington County will be having theirs on the 23rd.
Yeah.
So then also on our Juneteenth, Von and the whole team that he has put together will be having a major concert at Washington Park Juneteenth evening. So that's going to be great. Then Homer Blow always have his annual kids celebration. I seen that on the 29th of June at the Boys and Girls Club on 35th and North. So I see a lot of things going on in the community. Dominican has a lot of things going on. They have a black party that they'll be having in the next couple of weeks. I'll get all those flyers and informations out tomorrow with exact dates and times of each individual place. But yeah, we have a lot going on around this month.
Yeah. It's busy. I know we got our everything we put together with we will be out there. Wisconsin Voices will have a tent. We will be set up at Juneteenth. Come down, come talk to us, come grab maybe a little cup, maybe a shirt, something from the squad that we'll have. And if you, like I said, if you got anybody that's young and that needs to be, or not even just young, anybody that may need to be registered to vote, because what we found out is a lot of our youth are still needing to be registered or just haven't thought about it. Ones that are turning 18 or 17 right now, or any of the, younger adults, 19 and up. We would love to have you registered to vote. If you're next to anybody in your family right now and looking at them and say, hey, you registered to vote? Ask them real quick. I'll give you a little time, 3 seconds. Ask them if they're registered to vote. And then give me a call at 414-444-5250 if you have asked them if they registered to vote. I'm just serious about making sure that everybody's not only just registered, but aware of the severity of not only the national elections or the federal elections or whatever you want to call them, but your local election. I'm working with somebody right now next to me, Latoya, who has been in the mix, has helped on a lot of campaigns and has shown deep experience and the seriousness. I've seen her passionate, her be passionate. She's seen me doing it. And the work I've done across the country and other places, and like she done, I see why she take it so serious, because you see the impact in the communities that you go to. Everywhere I go, I don't be at no suburbs. We go straight to the hoods when we go to. I've been in Kentucky hoods and Houston hoods and Ohio hoods and in between different other little parts of Texas. And,
even Madison hoods.
Right, Madison hoods. Right, I forgot. We've been up to the Madison hoods, and Madison has, shout out to Dane County and Madison. They've been receptive to us. We also just want to make sure we're working on them as well. But it's important that people know the information. You don't even have to, you should be engaged with what's going on. Right. Being a especially ain't nothing like being a aware adult. The awareness of what's going on in the news, going on in your community is important. You just living just for, wings in the weekend. That ain't gonna do. You need to find other ways to keep yourself involved and create some purpose. If something that we say or something that we have engaged to, highlights or makes you, want to contribute or makes you want to volunteer, please do. We always want individuals coming through support. Wisconsin Voices is always big on making sure that we are letting people know that, hey, we are out here in the community and we want to work with our organizations and empower y'all the best way we can.
I agree totally with you, Brian. Just like, and I'll explain to you ways that you can always check your registration, because people think that, I voted a couple of years ago, so I'm registered because I'm still living in my same house. Let's go through a couple of things. Like in my case, I just moved. I no longer can go to the library across the street. I am going to have to re-register. I had to wait 28 days. So when you move, you have to wait 28 days before you can register at your new location. So there you see. So I will be registering with one of our teammates. I want to give it a prize. I want to see who is going to actually between me and you, who's gonna actually say, "Hey, Toy, you just moved"?
Who gonna be the first one to
Yeah. Oh, Toy, you just
I gotta
moved.
count the days. How long you been over there now? I gotta count the days. So we got like 3 more weeks then.
You can already register me now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been there for a whole month.
Like, wait, hold on. Didn't I do something not too long ago? 20 said she was gonna buy me some lunch. I forgot what it was.
No, I said I was gonna buy you lunch. I said I should have.
Yeah. Oh, you remember? See, she ain't forgot. Look, you said I should have bought you some lunch, but then you said like, I'll be expecting it right away. But
no, he expensive. He gonna think
I just want that Italian. Look, when you gonna get that Italian, I'm cool with that.
That's dang near $20.
Right, I'm cool with look. Look, go get your favorite Italian beef. I know I'm gonna eat it if you go get that. Good. Surprise is what, Italian beef?
No. I'll probably get him some Culver's and stuff.
I'll take that. Give me a 4-piece buffalo chicken strip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, also, that's one way. If you move, you have 28 days. And then 28 days before you can register at your new address, but then you should register. And also another thing, if you haven't voted in a couple of years or within the last 2 elections, they are purging people off the list, and they have redistricted. That means they have changed the maps and the locations of the districts. So you should go. I don't care who you are and say, I vote every year. And when they change the maps, just check and see if your registration is clear, because you don't want to walk in the polls and they tell you you're not registered and people get upset and get discouraged. And those people right there, I'm telling you, you are the people that I do not like to hear from, that walks out and get discouraged when you go into a polling place and you can't vote. Your ancestors died for you to have the right to go vote. So when you do that, that kind of boils me under my skin. Like, it's people I know died for us to have the right to vote. Fight every day for us to have the right to vote. March, got dogs sicked on them, got hoses put on them, did all kind of things, got buried in Mississippi, the 3 young men. I mean, these you can name 100 different events that happen to us to go vote. So please do not walk out of a polling place because you're discouraged, because you got somebody telling you you need some more. You should be proud that you can now go and get that information and come back without your life being in jeopardy. Back in the days, your life was in jeopardy just to walk in the polling place. Let's think about that, y'all. Our lives were in jeopardy just to walk in a polling place. Nowadays, we have the right to walk in there, leave out, get whatever information we need, and come back without having our lives in jeopardy. So let's take advantage of that and not be so quick to say, oh, if they say I need something, I ain't coming back here no more. Don't feel like that, because that boils me. I ain't going to kid you. And this is my views. It's not the views of Wisconsin Voices or WNOV. This is LaToya views. That boils me under my skin because people gave up their lives for us to have this right. So don't just be so easy to just walk away like it's just like, oh, whatever. They said I need this, skip this vote this time. Because that's our voice. When we want things in our community, that's our voice. And let's get this straight. Stop thinking you voting for the mayor, the governor, and the county exec, and the president, and you did your due diligence. They only say yes or no to bills. You need to vote for the people that actually write the bills, like your senators and your representatives. So, and your aldermen for your local communities. So, we need to start getting better at our elections, Brian. And I like that you said that. And back in the days, I could name some brothers that inspired me to take up this work and do this work from the way they used to all be out there protesting for our rights. And it's just, ashamed now that people think so little of it, and it's not that important. You gotta grasp at people to really get them to acknowledge to go vote. So I just think we should really take voting more serious. It really represents our communities, and I feel like a lot of our young, middle age, and they got it from our age group peers, teaching, basically ignoring the vote, and they just start standing in front of their kids saying, "Oh, I don't vote. They're voting. Our voice ain't heard. They ain't important." So now it's a trend with your own kids where they literally constantly say it now. And I think we should change that narrative. As when everybody say change the narrative. Yeah.
Because they do follow behind a lot of the young adults, between 30 something and 40 something. They'll say something that it sounds like it ain't came from somebody else's mouth. Man, I don't do that, or, man, you ain't doing nothing for me. That's primarily something that you hear. Mouth. I think it's really because people are not doing any research of their own. They just going off a conversation, whether it's barbershop talk or whatever. And if you're a leader in any organization, community, you need to practice, getting that out to your people that follow you. If you got a group of people that follow you and watch what you do, you need to figure out a way to get them engaged and let them understand that, look, we need to get out here and change our community. And it's going to take us to take this more serious and be more engaged in neighborhood activities that will push voter registration, will push people understanding how important it is to get out there and vote.
Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
The 3 pillars of Wisconsin Voices are protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, and building community. Learn more about Wisconsin Voices and our partners at wisconsinvoices.org. Stay up to date on our community events page and get involved by visiting our donation page.
Hey, man, the number 34 is pretty important in our city, isn't it? You remember Ray Allen?
Yeah.
Number 34, Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Then Ray Allen left, and we got another big 34. Who's that next big 34 we got right now? Giannis Antetokounmpo. But we got another big 34 that just popped up too, y'all. Another big 34 that's popped up. 414-444-5250. If y'all got any quick comments, questions, and concerns. That big 34 we got is Donald Trump. Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, to be exact, was convicted of Thursday of 34 charges and schemes to illegally influence the 2016 election through hush money payment to a actress, is all I'll say, who said they, had some visits together. Trump was in there. He was pretty stone-faced, and he was even stone-faced in that interview that he did right after. My aunt sent me the interview live. I was sitting there watching. I'm like, oh my goodness. He said everything. He talked about everything but the charges. He just kept saying how this was just unfair, and everything is unfair, and he
looking like Gargamel.
He definitely not setting the tone. It was even crazier to me.
Latoya is not the views of Wisconsin Voices or WNOV.
or Brian at that. It's the views. But you trip me out even more, outside of those 34 counts, which, it looks like, I was listening to Michelle this morning. It looks like folks weren't even giving eye contact from what Michelle was saying this morning. It looked like folks were even giving Trump no eye contact when they was throwing out them counts. So it was saying to me that they probably was all ashamed of themselves that they had to go with the process. But, it's not going to work every time. It is even looking like he may, the next round of individuals that may be handing over disciplinary action, look like it may be a group of Black women that work for the New York, I don't know which branch of legal enforcement or court, but it looks like it may be a group of black women that may be handing down the next process in that sentencing process. Also, what was crazy is this man decided to show up to a UFC fight this past weekend too. Did you see him being walked out at the UFC? Did you catch that, L? Yeah, this man walked through like he was, you know, one of the big time, whatever, podcasters, rappers, athletes. You wouldn't have thought this man was facing some other stuff. He walked right through there like it was just normal. So boy, Aaron Rodgers was even sitting down. Aaron Rodgers was sitting down right there. And he didn't even acknowledge him, which I'm glad he didn't. But, you know, hey, the views of Brian Sanders is not the views of or reflection of Wisconsin Voices. But yeah, it was. So
why did they walk him out?
No, he was walking into a fight. He was walking into a UFC fight this past weekend.
Oh,
instead of staying home and figuring out his next moves, you know, according to him, when he was speaking, you know, everything was rigged. Everything was a disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people, and they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened. My next thing is, what we want to. What would you think would be the proper disciplinary action for a case like this? What would you want to see?
So my thing is, I don't like that he still are making threats. Like he said, if he don't win this election, that there's going to be a bloodbath. Why do it have to keep being these threats? And if you don't win, they're going to tear the country up.
I don't like that riling up that group of folks.
Right.
Riling up that group of ignorant people in the country who have funds or have no money. But either way, you got groups of people who really think that they relate to you. Mm-hmm. And you out here selling a false dream and a false hope to groups of folks who are living in an era, some living in post-civil rights era, and then you got some that are in this modern era, but they want to
still be in that era.
They want to be in that era. And you giving these individuals and a bunch of groups in between, right? You giving them this energy and this confidence that they know they don't have. You know, this is just off of them believing that you are some
really gonna start
savior and you are a felon.
Right. And that's what I want to know.
A felon trying to represent.
How is it going to look for a felon to be running? And what if he actually win the presidency? A felon.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a big question to ask. Is that the light that we want our country to be viewed in?
I mean, I said a post the other day. He said the highlight of the country was the 90s. The peak era of the country was the 90s. I was like, man, I was saying it like that. I mean, yeah, we did have a horrible situation right after that, you know, due to the president and, you know, a rigged election in the 2000s, as it looked like the Florida count. But, you know, I don't know if it was, you know, the peak. It was close to it, though. It felt like a lot of the groups doing better back then. So.
And opinions expressed on this show do not reflect that of the staff and management of WNOV and W293 CX 106.5 FM Courier Communications Milwaukee, but are the sole comments of the host and guest of this particular show.
The views and opinions expressed in this program do not reflect those of Wisconsin Voices, but are those of the host and guests of this particular show, and their appearance on the program does not imply any endorsements or representation by Wisconsin Voices. Thank you for listening to Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Be a voice.
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 Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org
and learn more on how to be a voice with Wisconsin Voices.